Well, hey there, 4th and 5th graders. Listen, today we're looking at unit lesson .1 in your math book, and that's on page 601. And this particular lesson is dealing primarily with angles and fractional parts of a circle. We know that there's 360 degrees around a circle. And there's two ways that we can move around this. We can move it clockwise, which is moving to the right around the circle, or counterclockwise, which is moving to the left in the opposite direction. And so really what this particular lesson is all about is looking at how you can discern the angles that you can create by putting your rays. Remember, a ray is a point. We have a point on each one of our circles, and then where that point goes. An angle has a point and two rays, and that creates the angle. So now we got that down. Let's just look at a few of these. On page 603, they give you a bunch of examples there. The first one is showing the two hands going straight across. And you see there is no real angle on those rays. That's what they call a straight angle. It's straight. And as far as degrees are concerned, it's 1/2 of the circle, 1/2 of 360, which is 180 degrees. So this area up here, if we wanted to define that, we'd say that is a straight angle, and it's 180 degrees. Now, if we take the hands, let's just say we have one ray right here, and we want to go counterclockwise. That means you're going to go to the left. We're going to go counterclockwise, and we're going to go 1/4 of the distance coming around this way. Here's our angle. 1/4 of 360 is 90. So this would be a 90-degree angle. It's also referred to as a right angle. And it represents 1/4 of the circle. So this would be 1/4, and then each one of these would be a 1/4. Just like over here, it was 1/2 and 1/2. You think about a clock. A clock is divided into 12 hours. So let's just make this a clock. There's 12, 6, 3, 9. A clock is a circle, and it's divided into 12 sections. So each one of these sections would equal 1/12 of the circle. If we went to the 2, it would be 2/12. If we went to the 6, it would be 6/12. If we went to the 9, it would be 9/12, or its equivalency 3/4. So it'd be 3/4 of an hour, 1/2 an hour, 1/4 of an hour. So when you're looking at the circle, you just can determine the angle that's created when you move those rays into different positions around the circle. Let's just take a look at one of the problems in the book. On page 604, Malcolm drew this angle on the circle, which of the following describes the angle. Mark all that apply. Well, if you look at the circle, here's what appears in the book. Here's our circle, and it's showing a ray going in that direction, a ray going in this direction, and it's indicating that it went from here to here in that direction, which is counterclockwise. So the first thing that you observe about this is it's counterclockwise. The second thing is from here to here is 3/4 of that circle. That's the answer to the question. That it's a 3/4 turn counterclockwise. Your homework is on 605 and 606. Let's take one of the homework problems. I always like to try and pick the toughest one here. Let's look at number 7. And number 7 are 2 clocks. So we've got 1 clock already, so let's draw another one. All right, we got 2 clocks, and it's showing 1 clock right there and this clock right here. And it's asking, Shelley exercised for 15 minutes. Describe the turn of the minute hand. So from here, we're going to go in a clockwise motion, and it's going to travel 1/4 of that circle. Now, you could also say it's 1, 2, 3, 12ths, because there are a division of 12 units, 12 angles on that clock. 3/12ths reduces down to 1/4. So it's 1/4 of the circle. Well, that's our lesson for today. Do your homework on 605 and 606. And on page 606, don't want anybody to get stumped. You know, on our homework, there's always some review of previous lessons. And problem number 3 on page 606, it says, write 2/3 and 3/4 as a pair of fractions with a common denominator. Now, if you're really confused about figuring common denominators, multiply the 2 denominators together, which would be 12. So we're going to be for sure common with 12. And in order to get that 3 to turn into 12, we have to multiply it times 4. And in order to get that 4 to 12, we have to multiply it times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. And here 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So our common denominator is 12. Our fractions equivalent are 8 12s and 9 12s. Have fun doing your homework. And as always, take care.